record and kind of go at their own. I made a little music too. Buncee is great because it's very inaccessible, so I'll go a little bit into that, but if you click on this thing, you could also, it'll take you to the video. This is Shadow Tennis. I use a green screen I made myself a YouTube channel. It might seem like it's a lot of steps, it might take you a few minutes to do it, but it's really great a resource. So what's great about this is when if you have language learners, you could have them go to YouTube, they could do that as well. So a lot of it is, this is a standalone resource, but there's a lot of other things you could add on and build to it. So when you do, and it's really accessible, really works really well with Google Classroom. And what's great about it is so that if I wanted to share to everybody here, you can make a copy of it and you can control that privacy if you wanted to share it. So this is kind of going to Buncee. So that's one aspect that I do. It's great for if you wanted to, like one thing my principal wanted me to do was just lay out all the videos I would use in a particular assignment or lesson. So what's great for Buncee is because you can use and you can put all the videos right in there. So all they have to do is click on it. You can input the actual videos from YouTube or whatever, and it'll be right on there. So you click on edit it. So you click on edit. So this is, I'll show you the edit screen. So because that's just one aspect of Buncee, but my students, as you can see, it had 511 views. So you could kind of see, and there's also a comment section. So these are all the different elements. It's very accessible. There's all kinds of things. These are all the functions you could do. The 3D function. You can import. It's very user-friendly. You want to record a video. If you want to take a photo, images. It's very user-friendly. Let me show you how it works. I know everyone, the whole rage is, so I guess this is also not just showing shadow sports, but that would be the thing. So, and I mix it, and we talked about the parts of skill-related fitness, the parts of health-related fitness. So that's how it's good. And one the great thing about the Buncee, I'll go back to it, is so that when you want to preview it before you share it, there's a couple different features that I think are really good for families, for learners, and pretty much just any student. So if you click over here, no, that's just picture itself. If you click over here, it's immersive reader. It will take you and kind of go into the text a little bit more. The text preferences, you can explore around with this immersive reader. There's also a function where it will also read. So if I typed in stage select, it will also, there's a button not on here now, but it will read it. And you don't have to do an extra step. It will be a little sound button that will say we'll read it here. That's what I love about it. It's really easy and fun to do. So like over here, I laid out all my field activities, so I laid out all the games. I made my own little Bitmoji classroom. Another exciting thing to do. It's really great because it's fun, it's really engaging. It's also pretty easy to use. So over here now they could do it. This is my Bitmoji classroom for the Buncee, and they could click on the link, and it's super easy to do. It's super easy to go. This adding audio feature was very easy. Now that's kind of just like the basic functions of Buncee. You can also make things called boards, where if you say, let's answer together, and you post it in your Google Classroom, and you say, okay, cool, let's all ask everyone, what do you do? How do you make an exercise easier or harder? They could click on this, and the students can come, and it's not just, you could lay out a lesson if you want, you can do different various things, you can make these boards things so you can see, 12, and it's really cool because you can see the activity, you can see students, you can share it, you can really control there's a lot of great things where you can control it together. And you could have students, so maybe if they don't have they're not able to access it, because sometimes students have trouble accessing different things, you can do this, so they could just leave a comment if they have that much problem accessing and signing in. So you could just they could leave comments. That's one thing. The boards are really great. You can set it up like Google Classroom, where you assign different students so that you can assign different classrooms. And you make a classroom, you give the link, the code, but I chose not to do that just because I felt like it was like 3 extra steps, and the students really honestly just enjoy looking at the layout. It's fun, it's immersive. Like I made this myself based on a video game. There's really what's great about it, oh, look at that. I'm actually an ambassador. So if you go to the Ideas Lab, there's all kinds of, their big thing is their teacher appreciation, graduation, all kinds of different things, all kinds of different, there's actually a physical, this is, few apps actually have physical education tab. This one actually has physical education. So if you go to create, it has different things. It's really amazing. I don't want to give too much but and go too long, but it's great because there's different features. When you do assign it to the students, you could assign questions. You could also assign and have them make their own Buncee. They have the option to, what's really great about Buncee is if you've ever heard of app smashing, that's a new thing, where, okay, maybe this has a feature, and what Josh was saying, there's a new thing called read and write extension. I was actually literally just, my principal asked me to look into it, where you can, since it's based on a browser, you can use other kinds of technology. So if I like click over here, I could do read and write, and that will lead, and I could actually be able to speak onto it as well. To just kind of like use more than one app. If you know Flipgrid, which many people do, Flipgrid and Buncee are compatible, so that if I wanted to leave a little, like one of these over here, I can have ask a question. It will take you to Flipgrid. And there's a lot of compatibility. So it's not just, like I said, standalone. It's great if you want to just do it like that, but it's also, so there's a lot of, I'm coming from the place where I want to make it, universal, so everybody can use it, families, children and families, if they want to do it with someone, without someone. The great thing about the Buncees is, so like if I laid out all the lessons and they want to go back and do the activities, they could go right there. I leave this as, so they can go back and do it again. And they may not want to answer all the questions again, but if they wanted to do all the games and activities again, they can certainly just come back to this page and they can click it and they could use it. I recently started using Flipgrid so if students want to do it and they want to take a video or they want to record themselves, that's another way to kind of app smash. Like a lot of apps are compatible and actually do have, if you even just Googled it and say, how do I come do Flipgrid and Buncee, they'll do it. Actually, I know we're on Microsoft Teams. On Microsoft, Buncee actually just added that, where you actually, if you wanted to run this meeting, if I wanted to run this meeting through Buncee, I could actually do that.
That's so cool. I think one of the cool things about this is, like, as you said, it's compatible with so many different apps, and I think all of us right now are looking to find, like, what's the best one, but like having a multitude of apps that work to make your lessons interactive, I think is the way to go. I think it seems fairly easy to use, although I'm sure, Jimmy, you would be more than willing to help anybody out, I'm sure, with this. I love it. I love that it addresses Violet's point earlier about the audio. So there you go, Violet. You have some place to put your audio for your little ones, which is pretty cool too. Are there, at this point, any questions for Jim about Buncee? Kaya, anything in the chat that we need to address?
There's nothing in the chat, but I actually have a question.
Sure.
Go for it.
When you put in your videos, is it the URL or can you embed it so that the students don't go to YouTube or they don't go to wherever the site is?
You can embed it, but the great thing,
have that function? The
one thing I like about Buncee, I know exactly what you're talking about, is that sometimes I know students are working on iPads, so when you click the URL, so like for example, okay, so I wanna, this guy's running, so I go, so if you want to add a link to something, you can do that. Or if you wanted to just go to this button and press import URL, and it's pretty open-ended. It doesn't, some other apps are kind of limited what you could post. So if I wanted to post a URL to something, it will actually, the video will actually, like this is a field day 1. The video will be right on the Buncee page. They don't have to go to a separate tab. They don't have to keep jumping back and forth. It does that automatically.
Awesome.
Very cool. Thank you.
Well, and we actually do, thank you for that. And we actually do have a question from Violet.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, Violet, go ahead. Come off mute.